I was gonna try to get Streamlabs working. I really think it's just that I don't have the signal out here in Tres Piedras, in this little restaurant that I'm posted up at. So that's not gonna work. Is this Mac? There's some pickup pulling in next to me. I'm wondering if it's Mac. But nope, it's not. Very similar to his truck. Mac told me he wasn't feeling really good today, under the weather. And speaking of weather, we've had some weather today out here. I'll flip the camera around and show you. Check that shit out. It comes in like rain, like here and there. So, hey, what's up, Joyce? What's up, Robert? How y'all doing? So I was trying to use Streamlabs for this stream, but that didn't fucking work. It was taking too long to connect, so I assume that it just needs better signal, and I don't have very good signal out here. That's why I have to drive into town every time I want to live stream. I would love to live stream from home, like from Nomad's Nest. Build me a little studio that y'all get to see me hanging out at. Bring you outside, show you around. I just don't have the signal at Nomad's Nest to justify it. I don't have satellite internet, and I mean, it's so inconsistent over there. I'll get a text from someone 2 hours after they send it, Facebook message, you know, who knows if it'll even come through that day. So it's a bit janky out there. Let's see who's here. Joyce, Robert, what's up, everyone? Anna, you're not late. I started late, actually. My bad. What's up, Crystal? Driving to East LA. Hi, Deanna. Would be ideal. Starlink? Yeah, Starlink would be sweet. In fact, satellite internet would work just fine out here. I know it would because it's fucking satellite, but my cell phone signal doesn't. It's just trash. Like, when I go home, I just put my phone down. I don't even use it. Maybe to play some offline games when I'm bored, but that's about it. I can get a message through sometimes, most of the time not so much. So, yeah, Mac actually came out here. Mad Mac from YouTube, if you've ever followed his channel, he came out here and he had what was it, a cell phone signal booster and out at my property, and it worked a little bit, but I tried live streaming from it and it was just pixelated and like coming through all crappy, so that's not gonna work. It wouldn't work for live streaming like Netflix or anything either. So I was really leaning towards a cell phone signal booster until I tried one, and then now I'm just like, meh. Let's see. Yeah, I had Verizon while I was there, and it was iffy. Yeah, that's what I have. I have Verizon, and Verizon works great everywhere. Like everywhere I've been, usually if I didn't have signal, no one did. But T-Mobile just merged and got bigger or whatever, so that's fucking cool. T-Mobile works out here, but it's still kind of spotty. It's not very great. A signal booster where I'm at, I don't think would work for T-Mobile because, like I said, Mac had one. A signal booster and other people around who had T-Mobile still didn't work very well from them. So maybe Starlink is the way to go. Unfortunately, Starlink would give me like a $600 investment, and then I would have to pay a monthly, you know, it's prepaid, so there's no bill that accumulates if you don't pay it, but it's still kind of annoying to have another bill I have to pay for. Let's see. What's up, Jack? How you doing, man? How hot is Slabs right now? Smiling, Jack. Hey, McV, how you doing? Welcome to the live stream. I'm out here at my normal spot, outside of Nomad's Nest, to steal signal from the local towers. In fact, I'm not even live streaming on Verizon. That's how bad Verizon is out here. It's I've got to like connect to a different roaming tower. So right now I'm actually roaming. What's up? What's up, Cricket? How you doing? Yeah, dude, I've just been plugging away at Nomad's Nest, keeping myself afloat, really. It's an hour drive into town, and every time I need to get water, gasoline for my generator, if I need to get groceries, if I need to get propane, I have to drive an hour into town and an hour back. So it's like 2 hours of driving every time. It's like once a week I have to do this too, because I need more water tanks so I can hold more water, and I need more gasoline tanks so I can hold more gas. And that way, if I could make it like 2 weeks before I have to drive back into town, I'd be stoked. But right now, it is what it is. and I only have enough water and gasoline to last a week, maybe sometimes less. And the gas out here, I mean, I'm sure the gas is expensive everywhere where y'all are at. What is the price of gas where you guys are at? Here, when I got to Nomad's Nest, it was $4.18 a gallon. Pretty high, but you know, manageable, I guess. And now gas is almost $5 a gallon. It's like $4.80, $4.90 a gallon. So it's straight up killing me to have to drive into town once a week. It's also where my mail is, so it's a thing. Yeah, you see over $6, $4.60, $5 a gallon. This is fucking crazy. You know, like, that's how I like doing it. I try to do multiple things in one trip. That's what's up. Yeah, exactly. I have to do, every time I drive into town, it's an hour drive, so I've got to like run all my errands in one day, and then I've got to, yeah, I mean, you just do as much as you can in one day and pray that you didn't forget anything that you gotta drive back for the next day. I was gonna go into town today to check my mail and live stream from Taos because my signal's a little bit better in Taos, but just a little bit better. It's not great. I didn't get the notification for your live stream. Yeah, that's weird. I was trying to do it through Streamlabs too, and that didn't really fucking work out because I think that my signal is just too weak out here to do Streamlabs. But it would have been cool to have like y'all's chat popping up on the screen, and like, I don't have super chats yet, but if I had donations or whatever, that'd be cool. Then that would pop up and y'all can get recognition. In the meantime, I drove to Colorado over the last week or so and got me Grease Monkey, which tests at 28%. And typically I'm used to paying like $100 an ounce, and you know, it's actually been like in New Mexico, it's like $300 for an ounce, so it's crazy expensive. And up in Colorado, it's usually like $150 to $200 an ounce, which is still kind of expensive, especially right there on the border where I'm going. But I nailed this 28% THC half ounce. Well, they were selling ounces for $100, so I got a half ounce of it. And I'm pretty stoked about that. And it's one of the cheaper deals that I've had so far. I packed my bowl. Now I was trying to figure out the whole Streamlabs thing, and I was waiting, but yeah, let's do it. I don't even think I've smoked weed today. It's been a weird day. It's been a weird couple days actually, but that's all right. If you want to go with me, I'll drive into town maybe Monday. Well, what's today? I'm probably going tomorrow, Mac. In this car. I'm actually not in my pickup. If you noticed, I'm in my friend's car today to try to save money on gas, and I'll probably go into town tomorrow because I need more gas for my generator. So but we got 17 people in the live stream. We got 6 likes so far, so if you want to smash that like button, that'd be cool. Let's see, I'm smoking lemon sniffing rainbow sherbet. I like lemons and sherbet. Who doesn't like sherbet? That shit's good. How's the fire doing? Actually, thank you for asking. So there's a fire on both sides of Nomad's Nest. One fire is the biggest fire New Mexico's ever had to deal with. It was actually started by the Forest Service. They were doing a controlled burn on a super, super windy day, and it got out of control. But it's so far away, it's on the other side of Taos. So that's good. The other fire is much closer to Nomad's Nest, within 15-20 miles, and thankfully it's actually headed the other direction. It's headed away from Nomad's Nest, but it's still threatening a bunch of other homes. But in the last couple of days, like yesterday, we got 2 hours of rainfall over in the middle of the night, just poured down. And then yesterday during the day, we got some rain, some hail coming and going. It's very spotty. And today, let me show you. It looks like it might even rain again. So hopefully this helps the fires. Hopefully people's homes aren't going to be like threatened anymore. That fire that was close to Nomad's Nest was actually kind of scary. All of us came up with a fire plan. There's like a few people out here that don't have vehicles and they have animals, and so we made a plan that I would just drive around scooping everybody up, basically hook my trailer up, grab everybody, pack as much of their shit into my trailer as we could and bounce. But thankfully we didn't have to do that. Zig, are you going to the Rainbow Gathering in Colorado? I don't know. I would like to say I don't think so. I doubt it. But this is supposed to be like the 50th, anniversary of the first one, and it's in the same spot as the last one. So, it's a possibility. Unfortunately, like, Rainbow isn't what it used to be when I was a kid. So, maybe. I don't know. We'll see. Plus the fire that close to us, I believe, is 69, 70. Yeah, I just talked to someone here locally at the restaurant who said that they basically squared that fire away. Like, they caught the fire before it burned anyone's homes. But it's burning inside of a canyon, so the way that it's shaped is all weird. And it's basically surrounding a bunch of people's homes, too. So, there's that. Oh, yeah. But, Darren Gray, what's up? Hey, it's me. Let's smoke. Let's do it. What are you waiting for? Don't wait on me. Smoke them if you got them. Do it. Got 21 people in here, man. It's so cruising fast. Sorry I'm a little late today. Like, I had it scheduled for 2 o'clock. I live streamed for like 5 minutes. I'm like, you know what? I'm going to switch to Streamlabs. And I opened up Streamlabs and tried to, use it. Tried to, like, use Streamlabs for this. Because on my screen, I've got the chat right here. Like, right where my hand is. But on your screen, it's not, right? Like, I don't know, actually. It's like, I think your chat's underneath. So I gotta start doing this instead of doing this. But if I had Streamlabs, I could just point to them right here. But that didn't work, because I ain't got the signal. Say hi to the puppies for me. I absolutely will. The puppies are doing great. They love it out there. They get to run around and get dirty. Miles still has, like, the doggy hair dye all over him, but it's starting to fade out. Like, there's still some like blue and pink patches and shit, so that's cute. My brother can't chat, but he can send emojis. He's here too. What's up, Darren and brother? How you guys doing? Still has that shoe too. Still has the shoe. Shoe? Am I crazy? Shoe. What's cool about Streamlabs, you can invite guests on your panel. What's up, Bear? How you doing, man? The grease monkey will fuck you up. Yeah, dude, 28%. This shit's good. Shoe thief. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, they steal shoes. What's up, Vlad? How's everyone doing today? What you smoking on? Hey, Bear, when are you going to come visit me out here at Nomad's Nest, dude? Just hit me up, and I'll let you know, like, where you got to go. I got space. Zig, what up? I missed the last live. Good to see you. What's up, Sam? Yeah, I usually live stream on Saturdays midday, around noon or so. But today I did it at 2, like around noon or 2, one of the two. Depends on how my day's going and like, what's going on. I've had some visitors out of Nomad's Nest. Had some friends come and visit, so that was cool. It's been I don't know, I would like to start a little community out here of people that are like, we all get along and we have the same mindset and stuff. Like, we're autonomous, but we're also a community. That's kind of what I would like to start out here, and there doesn't seem to be much out there. So it's pretty exciting to start it from scratch, right? Right now we got 1, 2, 3, 4 people, 5 people. We had a 6th one that's planning on moving out here, so that's cool. Smoking a mix of shake from the weed store, a little cannabis cocktail. I like buying shake sometimes. That shit's cheap. You get a whole bunch of shake for like nothing. So that's cool. Let's see. Hit this again. Plan on it soon. Yeah, dude, it would be awesome, Sam. It would be cool to have a lot of people out here that just... I think that's what we all look for, isn't it? Like, that's what just a natural human thing to want is a community. So, like, being able to start one instead of join one, I mean, maybe a little more difficult because there's a lot of different personalities and stuff, but that's okay. Personalities make the world go round, and if we're all adults, like, that's the thing I get concerned about with big groups of people. It's just the personality conflicts and people not being adult enough to handle it, which happens. So fuck yeah, bring your goats, dude. Goats are cool. Sup, Mac, looking over dispensary options and pizza menu. I want pizza, deadhead. Give me pizza. The closest, dude, there's no delivery out here. The closest restaurant is right here, which is a few miles away, but you know, if it's the only place to eat in a, you know, hour distance, you get sick of it. So I do miss pizza. I would love to have pizza. Pizzas are good. Mac, what up? Seen that chicken and rice? Yum. Hey, Mac, you posting your dinners on there? Wonder if it'd be possible with my 5-year-old daughter. Nomad's Nest would be possible. Yeah, I don't see why not. As long as, like, I mean, you guys, if you've ever lived off grid, you know what you're in for. So, like, there's that. Camera's coming in good. I'm glad to hear it. I was kind of worried about that because I tried Streamlabs. There wasn't enough signal to do it. And, you know, I don't know. It's a very, very cloudy day, so maybe that helps the signal. I'm not sure. But I have to drive, again, like, you know, 20 minutes away to be able to live stream to you. I can't do it from my place. I gotta drive into town. This is the clearest video. Thinking about heading back to Houston. You want to go to Texas on purpose, dude? I mean, Houston is kind of cool. As far as Texas goes, like, Houston's like the only town I would probably enjoy. Never lived off grid, but been interested for a long time. Well, yeah, I mean, it's living off grid's a little bit more challenging than usual. You gotta really, really be conservative with water. You gotta, you know, you're using an outhouse instead of a flushing toilet. You could make a flushing toilet, but it's just so much water use that you probably won't. So it's outhouse living. It's an hour drive into town. It's no signal, no power. The power that you do have is either by generator or solar. You know, it's very easy. It's easier to do off-grid today than it was back in the day because now we do have solar. Propane's really efficient for cooking and stuff like that. So let's see. Deadhead, I've been looking at some nice steaks Tusco next month for my birthday in July. Mac, your birthday's coming up? I gotta remember the date, man. Let me know the date. Any hot chicks? I mean, I don't know. That's kind of subjective. I have no idea. Like, there might be women that you find attractive, but that's kind of an eye of the beholder thing, isn't it? My wife says we can't go off grid until we pay off some loans. You know, it'd probably be easier to pay off them loans if you were off grid and stop spending money on, you know, all those bills. I'm just saying, pay off the loans quicker. Robert, there will be when I get there. Do it. My birthday's on Thursday. Fuck yeah. Happy birthday. Happy birthday, Adam. I love birthdays, dude. It's like, my birthday is my favorite holiday throughout the year because I don't have to fucking share it with anyone. It's my holiday. Mine. My own. You can't have it. If I meet someone I share a birthday with, which has only ever happened once in my life, no, go away. It's my holiday. We can't hang out on our birthdays. Be 36. I remember 36. Wasn't that long ago. Thing is, we'd only have like $1,000 a month, and loans are like $400. Dude, I live off less than $1,000 a month, and I have been for 8 years. And about $400 is my bills, so it's doable. But with that on top of that, yeah, that would be kind of tough. I will admit. July 11th. All right, guys. Mac's birthday's on July 11th. Don't forget. You're gonna have to hit him up and send him donations on his live stream. You have to. It's, you know, I have spoken. Chad will be 32 July 5th. Oh my God, 32? Is that how old we are now? Oh my God. How did that happen? I remember when Chad was like 17, and he's literally twice the age. Twice the age of that. Oh my God. Jesus, that's fucking weird. Yeah, well, that's interesting. 17 years ago is when he... Jesus. That's crazy. Oh, we're getting old. I got an 18-year-old daughter, too. So now that I have an adult daughter, it's very strange to, like, think about that. 32, 21 years ago. That's funny. I'd kill to be 32 again. Don't do that. Unless it's like, I don't know, I'd kill this ant to be 32. I'm dying. Yeah, Thomas, Jack, you would probably kill again to be 50 again. I'd kill to be 50 again. I have an 18-year-old daughter too, just graduated, going to college in a couple months. That's rad. Good for her. Congratulations. My daughter just turned 18 last August. And so, like, having an adult child has been fucking with my head for a while. Got a cough to get off. Yeah, well, that makes me getting off on live stream. I'm gonna get off on live. That's hilarious. Am I the baby 30? I mean, maybe. Are you the baby? Are you the baby, Anna? I've also got some pre-rolls here. Let me tell you about them. They're called Higgs. I didn't name it. 18%. And the strain is peach pie. I genuinely couldn't tell you if this is an indica or a sativa. I could just tell you the strain and the THC levels, because that's all people care about. You think they put that on here? But you know what? You know what I like to see when I go buy weed? Isn't just like, oh, this is an indica, and this is a sativa, and this is how much THC is in it. I want to know the terpenes. Like, how many milligrams of each terpene does it have in there? What's the terpene count? And you know, that's what I want to know. How long ago was it harvested? I want to know those things. And a lot of dispensaries, like most dispensaries, do not have a terpene printout for their strains. Some of the farms provide it, but most do not. And you know, all they give you is the fucking indica, sativa, and the THC levels, which is kind of lame. Is this vegan? Yeah, I'm gonna ask that next time I get weed. Is that vegan weed? But most likely it's not. If you're buying it in Colorado or California, because a lot of farms in a lot of states will use bat guano to fertilize their plants and to feed their plants. Oregon doesn't, because Oregon requires their strains or their cannabis to be grown organically. So even like the black market in Oregon is using the same shit from the same stores to grow their weed as the legal farms are. So pretty much all the weed in Oregon that you get is organic. But when you go out of state, man, you'll put whatever they can to make their plants huge. Indicatomate hybrid dispensary labels here in Connecticut have all that. That's fucking cool. They should. They absolutely should. You should know what you're putting in your body. And if you don't care about the terpene printout, that's fine. But if you do, it'd be nice to have. And I do, because I like certain terpenes. There's some terpenes that help with nausea. There's some terpenes that help with your appetite. There's some terpenes that help you sleep. There's some terpenes that make you relaxed. And there's other terpenes that wake you up. And there's some terpenes that people are fucking allergic to. Like anyone that's allergic to pine trees is allergic to pinene, which is the terpene in pine trees. That's that pine smell. That's what a terpene is. It's just a smell. And the terpenes in cannabis are the same that you get in nature. So cannabis has a whole bunch of pinene in it if it's a certain strain. So this might have pinene in it. It might have limonene in it. And limonene is the one that I like a lot, because it's you're not allergic to terpenes, Aaron, but you could be allergic to some terpenes. So some people I know that smoke weed will get sick. They'll throw up because they're allergic to pinene. Anxiety when you smoke weed cane is common, kind of. Like, if you don't have like a high tolerance to pot, it could definitely make you more anxious. What's up, Jeffro? Welcome to the live stream. Some have anxiety, some give anxiety. Yeah, in fact, like people with low tolerances to cannabis are more likely to have that anxiety reaction. I've had it all, man. I've had when I first started smoking weed, I got out of the army and I started smoking like I used to, and I got real anxious and paranoid. And it was just like, you know, I fucking did too much of a drug, and when you do too much of a drug, you usually don't have a good time. You drink too much, you don't have a good time. You know, you fucking smoke too much weed and you don't have a tolerance for it, you ain't gonna have a good time. But it's been 8 years now. I smoke consistently, so my tolerance is fine now. I can pretty much smoke anything and not get anxious. So that's the thing. Me too, Sam. I smoke it all. It feels like allergies when I smoke. So Aaron, you might be allergic to some of the pinene in it. You know, like some of the terpenes in it. And that's common, actually. Like, I knew people that every time they smoked weed, they'd throw up. And that's probably because they were allergic to one of the terpenes in there, like pinene or something, because Maybe they're allergic to pine trees. What's up, Chad? We were just talking about you, bro. About how old you are. About how you got old. Your mom was telling me that you turned 32 soon, and I was doing the math, and I knew you when you were 17. Like, you're 17 again. Like, twice now. Fuck, we're old. Head pressure, sneezing, of course, coughing. Well, yeah, of course, coughing. Gummies, yeah, edibles are probably the healthiest way to put it in your body, for sure. Like, you're not putting free radicals in your lungs, you're just eating it, and that's perfectly safe. I have high tolerance. If sativa gives me the anxiety, I infuse MCT oil and make bulletproof coffee. Microdose all day. Nice. Sativa used to make me very anxious, but not so much anymore. Hasn't really bothered me in a while. My friends have kids in high school. Yeah, dude, my daughter just... Remember my daughter? Chad, I don't know if you ever met my daughter, Reese, but she just turned 18, man. Like, fucking old people. If you don't store your buds properly, they can get moldy, which can cause all those symptoms, Aaron. Yeah, that's very true. Moldy weed. And it's not just about storage, the processing at the farm, too. Like, I've trimmed weed before, and you're constantly on the lookout for mold. Oh, mold. And you throw it in that pile, and the non-moldy ones you throw in the other pile. And then the moldy ones, they'll sometimes make dabs out of it and concentrate it, so you're still getting some of those mold spores, but hopefully they die in the process. Depending on how they make the dabs, they'll kill the spores, sometimes not so much. Oh, but you know what? Like, I was just explaining this earlier. You know what's killing me out here in Nomad's Nest? Is the gas prices. It's fucking brutal in my pickup, and it's like $100 a week. It's like $100 a week to go to and from town and to get all the stuff we need and cruise around town and do all the errand shopping and the gasoline for the generator and propane and water, groceries. Oh, it's fucking killing me. I mean, I do like that I live so far away from town, but I also I need more water containers, like those 5-gallon jugs. And I also need more gas cans so I can, spend more time in between town runs before I have to drive back into town. And I could also, like, if my solar was working properly, I think I'd be doing a lot better. But when my house was broken into and I had left and they took everything, they took my batteries for my solar and they took my generator. So I've got new batteries now. I've got 2 6-volt batteries. I'm going to wire together in 12 volts to make 12 volts. And I also had a charge controller and an inverter so my solar can work. The inverter was stolen. The charge controller was still there. And when I got back, it was working. My charge controller was doing just fine. But then it crapped out on me like 2 days ago. So I've got to replace the charge controller and the inverter. It's just... I'm constantly thinking, like, of all the things that I need to do to keep the place alive. I need a 300-gallon tank. You are fucking absolutely right. And, like, having a 300-gallon tank is great, except how do I fill it? Like, I can't put 300 gallons in my half-ton pickup and go fill it. I would have to have water delivered out there. And the only people we know so far who deliver water, you have to take 1,600 gallons, or at least pay for 1,600 gallons. So I could get a 1,600-gallon tank, but I'd rather have a 300-gallon one and find someone that would deliver, 300 gallons. Cost $1,000 to go to Montana. One place was $8. Jesus Christ. Oh, that's right. You went and got your van, didn't you, Jack? How's that? How's your van? Did you get it? Or is it still in Montana? Do you have to leave it behind? Or are you in Montana still? Are you not in Slabs? Oh shit. I'm sitting in here and it's starting to mist on the window a little bit. And I think we might be getting rain soon. And what that means for Nomad's Nest is straight up, like, the roads get messy. The roads get muddy and it's hard to get in and out. In fact, when it rains, I literally can't leave. I'm stuck there until the road's dry. Because some of the roads flood pretty bad. or you have neighbors go in on fills with you. You know, Adam, I was actually thinking about getting a 300-gallon tank and putting it on a trailer, because I can pull a trailer of 300 gallons of water. 300 gallons, 8 pounds a gallon, give or take 8 pounds a gallon. Let's see, it's 8, 16, 32, 64, 640 gallon, or no, how many pounds is that? 8, 16, 32, 64. No, that's 8 times 8. Wait, I'm an idiot. 8, 16, 24, 2,400 pounds. So that's 2,400 pounds. Damn, why did that take me so long? 2,400 pounds in the back of my pickup would fuck up my suspension. But 2,400 pounds on a trailer that I was pulling, I could pull it to the well and fill it that way. So that's an option. That is an option, but I would need a trailer and the water tank, and then to register the trailer, because they want you to have that shit registered out here. Hey Kelly, what's up? Oh, yeah, catch up on comments. Everyone's talking. He made it back from Montana. Good. Hey Zig. Hi everyone. What's up, Kelly? Runs good. 18 to 20 a gallon. That's fucking sweet. Jack, are you gonna go travel, or are you just gonna like have it as your like run around vehicle? Did I hear about Peter past the Lockwood leaving Slabs? Yeah, I heard about that. I heard he's somewhere safe though. He left Slabs and he's in a good spot right now, surrounded by friends. He's, you know, back in Babylon, but that's okay. And yeah, he's doing really good. So, you know, Slabs lets you know when your time is done. And I don't know exactly all the details about what happened with Peter. It's unfortunate because you can either, when something like that happens, you can either be like, okay, bro, I'll leave and pack your shit and bounce, or you can dig your heels in and stay and take the risk. And the people that last in Slabs are the ones that dig their heels in, and they keep digging their heels in, and they keep digging their heels in. And not everyone wants to keep digging their heels in. Some people are just like, fuck it, and they leave. Because I hear this a lot in Slabs, like, I got nowhere else to go. And the truth is, like, you fucking have everywhere else to go. You have everywhere else to go. Like, we're nomads. Just start traveling, dude. Go see the country. Go see the world. What's up, Robert? How you doing? Everyone's just saying hi. You guys are so cool. It's raining on me. Rain is cold. I had to close the door. It's not raining here at the restaurant, Mac. So swing on by. Get you a shower. So glad you're all here. Me too. Definitely raining at home. Glad to know he's good. Yeah, I don't want details, but he just seems such a beautiful soul. What's up, Carissa? I think we went through this. It was Carissa. The H is silent because we can't spell in America. Hey Zig, you gotta check out the last video that caused it. Okay, I'll check it out. What's it about? What's up with the fires? Yeah, Chad, somebody else asked earlier, I think your mom, but I'll go ahead and, yeah, like, we have 2 big fires going on right now. There's one fire, like, past Taos, which is pretty far away. It's no threat to me, but it's also the biggest one in New Mexico. So we'll get the smoke from that, and it'll roll in. That one's, like, you know, like 40% contained or more, maybe bigger, but it's huge. And then the other one that was threatening Nomad's Nest, it's called the Midnight Fire. That one was much, much closer. Thankfully, it's headed the other way, which is strange because the wind was blowing in from that direction, but the fire is going the other way. And the Forest Service has kind of tackled that one pretty good. Plus, right now we're getting a bunch of rain, as you heard Mac say. It's raining its ass off over there at his spot, and it's been like super overcast. So the fires are kind of getting taken care of, thankfully. But we did have to come up with a fire plan of what we're gonna do, because there's a bunch of people out there here on the mesa that don't have a ride out. So I would have to basically hook up my trailer and drive around town picking everyone up. And that was the plan. That's what I was gonna do. We had a fire plan for the community, because if it ever got close to this sage, the mesa would just burn. It would, the sage here is so dry, it would be like a matchstick, and it would just burn across it in no time at all, especially with how windy it gets out here. So Lost the tracker, looked like I was on fire at 3 a.m. Look, why were you, what? I mean, it sucks that you lost the tracker, but looked like you were on fire. Were you just hauling ass until it exploded? That's not how you drive. Carissa, yeah, that's right. Gotta go. Good to hear from you and that you all are safe. Thanks, Anna. I appreciate you. Bearing went out. That makes sense, Jack. It was probably glowing red hot, wasn't it? How are the pups? The pups are great, man. Like, they love it out here at Nomad's Nest. Miles saw a pretty good rainstorm for the first time ever the other day, so that was cool. Like, last time he saw some hail, but it wasn't even that, like, I posted a video about that, but the hailstorm wasn't that bad, and then it rained pretty good yesterday. And the weather here is really strange, because it'll straight up rain, like, down the road, like 4 miles away, and it'll be raining its ass off, but here at the restaurant, it'll be sunny and no rain at all. So, I don't know what's going on with that shit. But that straight up fascinates me. Like, how weather works, like, it is fascinating. And I'm not going to go study it or anything, but, like, the fact that right over here is woods, and right over here is desert, and it's where the desert meets the woods, and usually it'll either be raining in the woods and not in the desert, or pouring in the desert and not in the woods. So, why that's different, it's crazy. That's fascinating. I like earth science. That shit's cool. Nothing bad, he's just sticking up for you. I sent you a link on your Facebook Messenger. Good, I'm glad to hear, you know, Cause is sticking up for me. I would stick up for him too. Cause and I have known each other for, you know, 8 years. Like, he was one of the first people I ever met in Slabs. Along with Cornelius. Cornelius, Cause, me, and Caveman, we all camped together at the same camp at the library. It was Cornelius's first year there. In fact, if you watch some of Cornelius's earlier videos from years and years ago, you'll see me in them with a stupid haircut. And I really should have started my YouTube way back then. Right? Like, coulda, shoulda, woulda. But, you know, it is what it is. If you haven't smashed that like button yet, that would be cool. It would be helpful. It would help get me donations, or not donations, sorry. I was going to get there. It would help get the algorithms for YouTube out there to more people. Also, if you want to donate, my links are in there. You know, I don't do this for the donations. I don't expect any, but if anyone wants to, my links are in the comments to this. I don't have a super chat yet because I don't have the super chat yet because I don't have 1,000 subscribers, but I'm almost to 1,000. I need 125 more, which I'm like itching to get, right? I'm so close I can taste it. It'll probably be a month or two. I am gonna be making, I've been kind of slacking on the on like filming, but I am gonna be filming like a day in the life of out at Nomad's Nest, what it takes to keep it up, what it takes to like maintain it, driving into town, refilling on waters. Where am I getting water? And then I can show you town a little bit too, because it's a pretty cool fucking little town. Good for him to experience the rain here in Oceanside. There's not much weather change. My pups are a mess when it rains. Yeah, you know what? I don't really care for weather, Carissa. Yeah, with the weather outside is weather. I don't like weather, so I travel to try to avoid it, but I'm kind of slowing down. Dude, I've been traveling for almost a decade, and so I'm kind of slowing down a little bit. And gas is honestly part of the reason. Like, I have a pickup and I have a trailer, so it's like 10 miles to the gallon. You know, 10 years ago it would have been just fine, but now that 10 miles to the gallon, it's like expensive to move around. So I've seen those videos. 100. Oh, you have, Deanna? You've seen me in those old videos? Damn it. Damn it. Don't judge my haircut. It's just a thing. It grew back. Adam, 115 more. It stopped raining. Yeah, actually, I'm kind of loving it. The lightning and the thunder and the rain is amazing. Yeah, out here, Nomad's Nest will get lightning and thunder, and it's real common that you hear just thunder rolling across the mesa. It's pretty sweet. Bye, Crystal. Thanks for being here. Appreciate all ya. I'm just gonna relight this joint right here. Because it went out because I've been fucking chin wagging too long. By the way, chin wag is a total British term. And it's like their slang. Like, most Americans don't know what a chin wag is. But a chin wag is just when you have a really good conversation with somebody and you're just like, blah, 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 wagging your chin. And I'm stealing that from the Brits. You know, like, they can keep their tea, but I'm stealing chin wag because I think that's fucking such a genius slang. You're always welcome to avoid the weather here. There's a place for you if you find yourself out this way. Where'd you say you were? Ocean Beach? I probably will find myself out that way in the winter, to be honest with you. You said it. I wasn't judging. Yeah, I said it. Yeah, my hair was ridiculous in those old videos, but that's okay. I'm also in an old video with Special Head, which is a Special Head is he like does like magic and shit and visit the slabs acting like all weird, trying to like freak us out. And I was in one of his videos very, very briefly at the library. Man, when was the last time you saw Wilcox? Oh God, dude. Shit, when did I get out of the army? I got out of the army in 2014? And so yeah, probably 8 years ago. Indubitably. Chin wagging, indubitably. That's what we're doing. I'm chin wagging, y'all are finger wagging, or typing, or thumb wagging. I don't know. Whatever device you're on. But Chad, yeah, last time I saw Wilcox was like a very long time ago. And I don't miss him, if we're being honest. Like, I actually, in a job interview, speaking of Wilcox, I was in a job interview for the employment department in the state of Oregon because I was a vet rep. I was the regional veteran employer representative for the state of Oregon for half of the state for a couple years. And they asked me in that interview, like, can you give us your best and worst supervisor and explain why? And I was like, I think those are the same person. Like, the best supervisor and the worst leader, the best and worst leader I ever had might very well have been the same person. And that was Wilcox. That's who I had in my mind. Because there were some days he was like, dude, he was so bipolar about shit. There were some days that he would be a great boss and a good leader. And there were other days that he was just a complete tool and like acted like he was better than everybody. So, you know what? Like, working for him was a straight up fucking nightmare. And if he sees this, I don't fucking give a flying rat's ass because, like, I'm out and I don't give a shit. But working for him was a goddamn nightmare. It was an absolute nightmare. Like, worst fucking supervisor I ever had. So, Special Head from America's Got Talent. Yep, that's him. That's the man. Alright, I still tell people about his Subway sandwiches. Dude, fucking A. This fucking... okay, so I was a low-ranking person in the Army at the time, and this guy was an E7, so Sergeant First Class, pretty high up there. And he would have us go get his Subway sandwiches. And at Subway, they put the meat and the cheese, but they put all your condiments underneath it, like your lettuce and your tomato and all that stuff. And he would always make us request it the other way around, so all the lettuce and tomatoes and stuff is on top of the meat and cheese. And if we'd forget, he wouldn't pay for his sandwich. This fucking high-ranking guy would stiff us with the fucking bill because he wanted it a certain way. Like, it was just such an abuse of fucking leadership and abuse of power. Like, fuck, man, you pulled that old wrinkle out of my head. Yeah, it's Special Ed. Are you Special Head or are you Special Ed? Because, yeah, that's the dude from America's Got Talent. He came out to Slabs and did a music video of this weird song about politicians getting along, or they should. Just Ed. And he did a video as the old man. He dressed like as an old man and hung out in Slabs and like interviewed a bunch of people. At first we thought he was Johnny Knoxville because Johnny Knoxville's known to dress up like an old man. So it was actually Caveman, and I ran over to him trying to smoke weed with him, like, hey, you want to smoke some weed? And he's like, no. I mean, I was kind of convinced it was him until later we saw him. without his old man fucking get up on. So where is everyone at? Like, I know some of y'all are in Central Oregon, because that makes perfect sense. Where's everyone else? I know some of y'all, one of y'all in particular, is in Australia. And look at my good vibes lighter. I fucking love this lighter. I totally jacked this from fucking Ponderosa, because I'm a lighter thief. So, Ponderosa, if you're watching, it's doing well. Michigan, Pennsylvania. Dude, Pennsylvania's beautiful. And the Upper Peninsula of Michigan is on my bucket list. Like, DC's on my bucket list. Even though DC's like a complete trash hole and it's a dumpster fire, like, I still want to go see all the history there, because there's museums, and then there's the, Arlington and the Tomb of the Unknown Soldiers. I would love to see all those things. So it's on my bucket list. And the Upper Peninsula of Michigan's on my bucket list. Like, those two things, those two places. Maybe one day I'll get out there again. But every time I went by DC, like, I've been to all 50 states. And every time I went by DC, I would just scoot right past it, because it was so easy to just not drive through fucking DC. And then the Upper Peninsula of Michigan, same thing. I would just go south of it through, like, Detroit and shit, and then just keep going, get the hell out of Detroit. And I never went up north, because it's kind of out of the way. So, on my bucket list, because they are out of the way, but I still want to go see them. I'm in the Flint, Michigan area, the crap hole area of Michigan. That sucks, bro. I was just mentioning fucking Flint, Michigan yesterday, because I made a joke about how bad the water is there. And I think that's still an issue, actually. Like, a first world country can't even figure out how to give its people clean drinking water. Like, we're the richest country in the world, in history. The richest societies in history. We can't figure out clean drinking water in one of our cities. Like, that's gross. I'm looking at the Upper Peninsula's potential bug out place for shit hit the fan situation. That would not be a bad spot. It really wouldn't. Charity the rarity. You're in Wisconsin. I love cheese. Oregon's known for cheese too, and that's where I'm from. And Wisconsin's got great cheese. Like, cheese curds, you can't fuck with Wisconsin cheese curds. I don't care where else you get them from. South of Cleveland. O-H-O-H-I-O. Cleveland, I've been to Cleveland. I went to this fucking, I used to build horse barns, and we went to the fairgrounds there and, like, put up a half a horse barn so potential buyers could walk by and look at it during one of their events. And then we tore it down and left. Wisconsin, do we got two of you in here? We do. Lisa and Charity are both in Wisconsin. It would be good for summers, but not winter. They get feet of snow in the Upper Peninsula in the winter. Yeah, and that's for a bug out place. I feel like it really depends on the time of year, right? Like, if shit hits the fan in the winter, are you gonna bug out to deep snow? Like, if you can survive in that, yes, of course you would. But if you can't, and everyone else is gonna have that same idea, why would you? So, like, I think it would be a little harder to bug out on the East Coast, to be honest with you. I really do, because the East Coast is so busy. There's a lot less open land, whereas the West is just so vast and so much open land. But a lot of that land is also, like, desert and useless and hard to survive in. Like, Slabs, people think would be a good bug out place. It wouldn't. Like, you're below sea level, you're in the low desert. The only water sources that you have there are all canals that come off the Colorado, and it'd be so easy for them to shut that shit down from somewhere else that you can't even get to. And then you wouldn't have any water. So, like, water is a shelter. Like, that's shit you gotta be thinking about if you bug out. But summers in the UP would be great. Summers in anywhere woodsy, like Pacific Northwest would be great. I need a place for isolation and access to water, fish, and lumber. You know, that's kind of where I'm at here at Nomad's Nest, but this would not be a good winter place because it gets so unbearably cold here. Like negative 20s at night. If you made a little space for you with a wood stove and shit, you'd be fine out here if you can get into the woods. And the woods is Like there's pine trees on to my left right here, and that's this highway that I'm next to is where the woods start, and on the other side it's just all high desert and sage. So, but there's a river over here. The Rio Grande is right down there, and then I got the woods here, so I got access to water, and I got access to wildlife, and there's even wildlife out there, tons of rabbits and shit. So, SoCal, of course. Lived in Wisconsin for a while. Miss those cheese curds fried. Yeah, you know what's up. You know what's up. I was born in SoCal, actually. I was born in Huntington Beach, but I wasn't raised there. I don't even remember it. I've been to Maine. I've been to Kennebunk, Maine, actually. Kennebunkport and Kennebunk. And that's where, like, Bush Sr. lived, or lives. I don't know if he's even still alive, but he has this little island his house was on, and, like, a gate with Secret Service that would watch it. You know, people coming in and out. And whenever he'd come into town, they'd like shut down the whole fucking town so he can go shopping or eat or whatever the hell. He's dead. Yeah, I kind of thought I had a memory of him passing. Yeah, but Bush Senior was living in Kennebunk, Maine, on this little fucking island. It was pretty. It was a pretty area. Lightning strikes detected near me. I love the weather, bro. It is not raining here. Mac is like 2 fucking miles down the road right now. In fact, I could like get out and show you. I'm gonna show you guys the fucking storm he's talking about, because maybe it's coming towards me. But it's not raining here. Like, I'm outside. There's even some, like, look at this, motorcyclists. And then you go over here, and that's out where Mac's at. That storm. I don't know if you can see it, but there's a storm out there. And it's kind of, I mean, the wind's picking up, but that's where Mac's at, out there. But yeah, there's like still people riding motorcycles and shit with this storm coming in. So that was my bad. I accidentally locked my screen when I was putting it back in its holder. But yeah, I can see my trailer. Look, I can see my house from here. But it's windy. Like, the wind is picking up. For sure. And this sun coming through this window is super warm. And then there's a storm over here with lightning and thunder and shit. This is why they call it the land of enchantment. Like, New Mexico is beautiful. And it has a monsoon season, so it'll come through and just fucking dump rain on you for a couple hours, and then be all sunny and shiny, and then rainbows, and you'll see the lightning off in the distance as it goes over the mesa. I used to sit out here and like aim my camera at the fucking thunderstorm and take long exposures. And every time lightning would strike, it would put all the lightning strikes in that exposure on one photo, so you could look south and just watch this fucking lightning storm go over and get this photo with like 5 or 10 strikes in it. It was pretty cool. If it happens this year, I'll definitely get some shots of it. But the conditions have to be right. You know, like, it's got to be south of me, because that's just the view I have. It's got to be dark at nighttime, so you take long exposure. Hey, another ski mask. Irene, what's up? I don't know what you mean by ski mask. Let's see. Yep. That's crazy. You got the rain wall. Dude, you can watch it, Carissa, on the mesa as a wall of rain is just coming towards you, and you're like scrambling to get all your shit inside so it doesn't get wet, and roll your windows up. And then it just pours over you for a while, and then you see the wall going away. It's actually pretty sweet. I seriously need to get windows installed in my cargo trailer, though. Yeah, dude. Those are actually pretty easy to install, too. Hey, kitty. What's up? How are things going there? Well, Digging it out here at Nomad's Nest. I just showed everyone the storm that's coming in. How you been? Robert, I do still own my motorhome. But I'll be selling it this year. I'm pretty sure it's not here with me. Yeah, Mac just bought this cool ass big cargo trailer with a ramp that goes down on the back. And he's been, building it out. And he's already got the solar attached to it. He's got this composting toilet I'm super jealous of. And he's got like the vent on the roof, and he's got the back door and then a side door. It's a pretty nice fucking trailer. But yeah, Mac, if you want to do a window, man, I know you probably don't want me to do it because, you want it done professionally, but you probably have it done at some body shop or something in town, or even a contractor, someone that builds houses. Talk to those people in Colorado that are building that house and be like, yo, will you install a window on my trailer? It'd be like $50. I bet they could do it in the afternoon. And I don't know, I'm not pull the audience real quick. Mac has got his, now he's got his trailer and his RV, and I've been trying to convince him to take the RV and make it his permanent home out here at Nomad's Nest, or near Nomad's Nest, but he's also thinking about selling it. So, sorry to throw your shit out there, but what do y'all think? What do you think he should do? Travel with the trailer and keep the RV, or travel with the trailer and get rid of the RV? I'm trying to sell the motorhome and get a prefab building on my property, I believe. That's actually not a terrible idea. If you sold the RV, you'd have the cash to improve your property. That's not stupid. That's a good idea. And then that's something I've actually been considering, is selling my pickup and using, getting another, a van to travel in the van, and using some of that other money to improve Nomad's Nest. But at the same time, it is a nice pickup. I like my truck, and it's very, very useful to have a truck out at the property. So, I don't know what I'm going to do about that either. I gotta keep relighting this joint because I keep chin wagging. "26 likes and there's 26 people in here. That's perfect. I dig you guys. Thanks for being here. I'm gonna keep burning this one. Okay, so I got a question for you guys, since no one's chatting really. If you had off-grid property, what would you do to it? What would you do? Would you, and also consider that it gets negative 20 degrees in the winter at night, and sometimes snows, and it's an hour drive to the closest town. What would you do to your property? Would you own chickens? Would you build a thing? Would you leave in the winter so you're not so cold? The price of RVs are going through the roof, even used. I would hold on to it if possible. Yeah, that's actually a fair point, but that's also a big bubble that's being created right now. Vans, RVs, school buses, they are going for ridiculous amounts of money. Shitty ass 1984 G20 Chevy vans are going for $15,000 because this van life thing has become so fucking popular. And something to consider. Eventually that bubble's gonna pop and those prices are gonna drop, because let's face it, it's a 1980s gas van with 300,000 miles on it. Definitely leave in the winter. I don't like the cold. Make it so I can live there. Yeah, I'm with you, Adam. I really don't like the cold. I don't. Build a commune, grow food, raise the animals. My van with new engine is worth 20 grand. What year is your van, Jack? What year is your van? This $20,000 van. Make goat milk ice cream. I've never even considered that. Build a shed out of a used container and maybe get a smaller 10-foot one for keeping chickens in. A lot of people want to do chickens. I'm looking for a greenhouse, but I'll see what we get. That's all next year. Drill a well and use solar. Build something cool and have gardens and animals over time. So the well thing, Carissa, or I'm sorry, Charity, the well thing would be fucking cool if it wasn't oppressively expensive to drill a well out here. It is, yeah, it's like $60,000 to drill a well, and for that much money, I could just go buy a property with a house and a well already on it somewhere. So there are a couple wells dug already. One of them we don't have access to because we're not in the HOA, but the other one we do have access to, so we would have to just drive down there and get one of those totes of water, fill it up, and drive back. Or you could do water delivery. Earth bag, south-facing house, windows built into the ground a little. Just like those Earthships, right? Like just like the Earthships. And those Earthships are in between me and where I go into town to get all my groceries and Walmart and propane and gas. Yeah, that's what a lot of people are building Earth bag or Earthships out here. Build a fire pit, maybe some plants and animals. Kitty, I have a fire pit right now, but we've had a fire restriction on us out here. And the wind's been blowing super, super hard. So just like out at Slabs, when the wind blows, we decide not to have a fire. Same thing out here. And right now we can't have fires just because I don't want to be the cause of the fucking sage going up. Earth bag or Earthship, yeah, for sure. A yurt. See, Jack, you got a 1990 van that is fucking 32 years old, and it's going for $20,000. It's a huge bubble. It's a huge bubble. Yeah, yurts are... I had a friend that had a yurt that they lived off grid on. And then it was a bit of a construction project to put it up and a bit of a construction project to put it down. But it was built to come up and down so she could like move to different people's properties as she went. I called and talked to someone in Colorado yesterday for a shipping container, $4,400. Yeah, that's what I've been hearing too. About $4,000, $45,000 for a shipping container. That's only a 20-footer too, which is like a half of one. Yeah, the shipping containers are getting more expensive. Like they used to be like $2,000 to have one dropped on your property. Propane and propane accessories. Fuck yeah, propane is pretty efficient, but it's also annoying to have to go into town and get. You're building a tire wall. Yeah, I actually just went to the dump to ask about how do I get tires, because there's just a giant pile of tires there, and you have to get a permit from the state to go get the garbage from the dump if they're tires. So I'll have to collect tires some other way, but it would be cool to do a tire wall. I would do that and just fucking pack it full of fucking Adobe, because that's all this dirt is out here is Adobe. Plus if you're out here, it's good to have 4-wheel drive. Yurts are expensive though. Yeah, my friend that had that yurt I was just mentioning spent like $9,000 on it. So insulated compound, so you got it. If you need to, the earth bags are amazing for keeping temp control and fires as long as you ventilate it. It's a good wood furnace. A wood stove would be a good idea out here too. Point S tires. We have a Point S nearby. What are we talking about here? I know Point S. I think my ultimate dream is to tow a tiny house and live everywhere. Aaron, I'll have to swing by and show you this tiny house on my next video that's sitting outside of someone's house. And it'll be a little difficult to pull over and get a video of it because it's a real narrow road and a lot of traffic. But it's really cool looking. And every time I see it, I'll be like, oh, that thing's fucking rad. And it's on wheels. It's a trailer house. And it's like built like an actual house. It's really cool. I did look at buying one of those Earthships, but they're a little pricey. Fucking A. Dude, you're like $500,000 for one of those Earthships. Tire repair place. That's a good idea. Adobe bricks and build something. I've actually been considering, instead of Adobe bricks, because that is a lot of work, which I am considering it, but I was just thinking of just doing fucking sandbags, just like a sandbag house instead of, and then you can Adobe around that. So it'd be a lot less Adobe and half the work instead of like laying out bricks and bricks and bricks and letting them dry for, a week. They usually keep the tires they replace. Maybe they can get some for cheap. Probably sure, get tires there. It's not a bad idea. what exactly is an Earthship? Okay, Adam. After you're done with this live stream, go look on YouTube for the Earthships near Taos, New Mexico. But it's a off grid, and it is, so there's no power, aside from solar, and they are built with tires. So they take these old tires and a sledgehammer, and they put adobe into the tires, and they pack the adobe into the inside of the tire, into the rim, and they just build walls and buildings out of these, and it creates a thermal mask from the sun and an insulation. It's basically like a more efficient way to build the adobe huts that natives did it. They have these giant open windows, all of them southern facing, because we're in the northern hemisphere, so the sun's in the south. And so these giant windows facing the south, since it gets so cold here, so they can get a lot of thermal heat. And on the other side of that glass is their greenhouse. So that whole front edge, and they're usually built long and skinny, and that whole front edge is all glass greenhouse. Their waste from their water and their toilets goes directly to the greenhouse to feed all the plants in there. So, when you go number 2, you go number 1, you have gray water coming out of your sink. It all goes straight in through all this natural filtering with rocks and charcoal and all this shit that's in between your bathroom and your greenhouse. And so it all goes in there, and all your fucking plants grow out of that. It's very greenhouse gas. They don't do propane or anything like that. I think they have solar ovens out there or something. Actually, I think some of them do have propane. But they're supposed to be carbon neutral, so they're not adding any more carbon to the environment, and they're not just shitting into outhouses. They actually have a use for that waste. They're pretty cool, and maybe I'll throw them in my next video. And I would like to do a video on what it takes to just keep Nomad's Nest afloat. So on the way into town, when I keep Nomad's Nest afloat, then I'll be able to see I'll be able to pass all this shit. I want to show the greenhouse there, and I want to show the Earthships to you guys, because it's actually pretty fucking fascinating. I have arthritis in my back, and I pound tires. It hurts, to be honest, but I won't be defeated. Yeah, dude, it's a lot of labor to take that sledgehammer and pack in the adobe into the tires. It's very, very labor intensive. Had a small toy hauler with a sleeper shelf with a porch ramp folded into a gate. I loved that thing for the dogs. It was awful for travel. No way to boondock in that thing. Why couldn't you boondock in it? Oh, because was it a fifth wheel? Because yeah, I've seen those at the RV shows and shit, and they're fucking crazy. That's a really cool idea. Would have fun to build one. You can actually volunteer to come learn how to build them at this fucking place too. They build them for people, and they'll, I don't know if they pay you or if it's all volunteer, or if it's maybe both, but you get to learn how to make these off-grid homes that are completely self-sufficient, aside from getting, if you want to have propane, you gotta have that brought in, and if you want to have water, you gotta have that brought in. So other than that, in fact, I think they might have a well dug at that place. I'm pretty sure they do. See you, Adam. Gotta get going. Enjoy dinner, dude. Wow, my internet went out. Thought it was you. Hey, welcome back, Kelly. Nope, I've been here the whole time, and I got a donation from Kelly. Thank you so much, Kelly. I appreciate that. If you guys, anyone else wants to donate, my link is in the description of this video. It's in the description of my channel. It's in the comments of all of my videos. So that's where it's at. You don't have to. I don't mind if you don't. I'm still happy to have you guys here. I enjoy the chin wag and the weed. But that money will go towards keeping Nomad's Nest afloat. Primarily gasoline, primarily propane, and if I'm going to Colorado to get smoke, about every 2 weeks or so it might go towards that, but that's about it. I'm on 2 devices, gotta hear thanks twice. So I'm like stuttering at Kelly's house. Hey Kelly, you coming on made me look at the time, remember to take my antibiotics. So thank you. Yeah, take that shit. Hey, if you guys need to take medicine, it is 3:20 out here at Nomad's Nest. So I don't know what time it is at your house. But maybe it's that time. Take that shit. This is becoming a roach rather quickly. Yeah, Adam, when you're done with this video, get on YouTube and you'll fall down the Earthship like rat of videos that are about this place out here. Because the guy that started them, the Earthships out here, had to fight the government to get permission to do this, because you don't actually own your land in America. You don't. And if you think you do, stop paying your taxes and see if you still own it. But nevertheless, he fought the government, and the government lost, and this whole neighborhood is just Earthship after Earthship after Earthship. It looks like bunkers littering the hillside, and they're cool as shit. Some of them are built like I don't know, Arabian almost, or artistic, and they've got these cool designs, and it's all built out of adobe and bottles and tires, and it's fucking beautiful. Yes, it was. Ended up having to sell it. It was hard on my truck and hard to find sites that allowed large trailers for overnight. Got expensive since it was in a consistent move all the time. Yeah, that would be expensive. And I don't even have a fifth wheel. I have Nomad's Nest is basically my 28-foot travel trailer, and it's a bit of a nightmare. It's hard on gas. It's hard on my truck. You're not wrong. And it's harder to find places to camp, especially if you're on the East Coast or near any cities. And if you are, you gotta funnel out that money. There are spots I know of that you could take it. It just cuts your options in half. Before I had this setup, I had a 40-foot diesel pusher RV, and it was the same thing. I was constantly struggling with where I could put that thing to camp. I need to get smaller. I'd like to have a van to travel in, or maybe a teardrop or something. But, that's down the road, because I ain't got that kind of coin. You need coin for that. "20 minutes late. Earthships are the bomb." Yeah, Kelly's building one. What's up, Mustang? How you doing? Good to see you, Sally. When it comes time anyone feeling need to pound dirt, you're more than welcome. Yeah, that's what I was just talking about, how labor intensive building an Earthship is. It's just incredibly labor intensive. That's why a lot of houses out here, they look like they're adobe huts like the natives used to make, but they're actually stucco, and they're wood framed and made to look like that on the outside. But they're really, stucco's a little easier to deal with than mixing adobe all the time. Or I'm sorry, not mixing it, but pounding it into tires with a sledgehammer. You gotta be pretty angry to do that shit every single day. But by the time you're done, if you guys want to go volunteer at Kelly's, by the time you're done, dude, you'll be enormous. You'll be buff. Like, you'll be pounding fucking dirt into tires for 2 years. How's the weed removal going? There is so fucking much sage at Nomad's Nest. And there's these little prickly pear cacti that are kind of all over the place. So, I haven't been clearing as much as I will, because it's also a lot of that moon dust, that dirt that goes it's really fine. So when it gets windy, it blows it everywhere. And the spots that have sage and the vegetation is keeping that dirt down. So I don't want to get rid of that too much yet, because the stuff that, like my driveway, it just blows dirt constantly, and it's everywhere. I have to sweep out the trailer every single day. So if I keep removing stuff, there'll be more of that. So I gotta figure something out, like gravel or whatnot. So I'm not removing anything, like I'm not removing too much yet. I'm just making some little paths going through my land and going other places. So that way, it's a little easier to walk through. But also the prickly pear cacti are blooming right now. So they're all pretty and they're flowers in some of them. Some of them are starting to bloom, some of them not. But they break into this yellow flower and it's real pretty. So I don't want to tear those out just yet. Are those prickly pear cacti edible? I'm not sure. I've got to look that up because these ones are much smaller, much smaller than the ones I'm used to. They're like yay big, right? And they've got like, a whole patch of them will be there. So I'd imagine that they are, but I would like to look it up first before I do. But if they aren't edible, they're still pretty. I've actually got some that Caveman replanted in a tuna can that's like a deep, growing right on my kitchen sink. So just went through a 48-hour power outage from storms. I give you credit for making it look so easy. Didn't realize how much I like using my things until I couldn't use my things. Yes, Lisa, my God, I am so power starving all the time. Like, thankfully, because of Kelly's awesome donation, I got my generator, but it's still like my it would be nice to have my solar fixed, but it seems like I'm power starving all the time. It just, I don't know. I've been doing this for 8 years, and I usually have solutions to this. And right now, I have a good solution, and it is working. But I've never had an actual solar setup that was like that ran without problems. Like it's always been like I get my solar setup squared away, and then a charge controller goes out. And I replace the charge controller, and then it works for like a week, and then my batteries fucking get ruined, and so I take those back to Walmart and do the warranty exchange, and then like one time a fucking wind blew my panel down at where the hell was I? In Brown Lake Mead somewhere. Blew my panel down onto a bunch of rocks and smashed it, and it was just shattered, and I had to replace that. So it's just been one thing after another, and it would be really nice to, because I see people with like decent solar setups and they're fucking fine and they have all the power they need and they're using their laptops, but or they're like playing TV game, whatever. They're fine. Their power's working. They've got deep freezers and shit. And then mine has always been a struggle. Always been a struggle. Ever since I've started doing this. All prickly pear cacti in the genus are edible, though you may find that many varieties are not as tasty. I had some prickly pear when I went to Mexico a couple times. Lake Havasu, we were camping out. Yeah. Mac was with me when that fucking panel blew over. And I even had it like bungee to the RV, but it was really windy. And it was just a whole bunch of like little rocks everywhere. And it blew over and just shattered it. Mac was with me for that. That sucked. That was a nice panel too, man. We got a $5,000 set for 100 on Kickstart. For Kelly, for solar? Sorry, for grand. Solar is tough to maintain, but with a hybrid, it's dual. Yeah, that's... I've thought about hybriding it 3 different ways, actually. I've considered, especially since how common the wind is here, doing wind. That's like my last option. But getting one of those wind things that'll charge and you run that through a charge controller. And then I've considered I'm definitely going to have my batteries rechargeable by solar and rechargeable by generator. So but if I got those 2 and I could afford, a decent turbine, I would do, a 3-way split. I don't know how to use Kickstart. I thought that was for like businesses or something. And I ain't no business. But maybe pretty soon I could make an LLC or something. I've considered that too. We were talking about that, making an LLC and like and maybe digging holes for people out here, because we would like to get a jackhammer. There's so much rock. Like, makes sense. Like, we're on a fucking mesa, but there's so much rock out here that that we kind of need a jackhammer to break through the rocks out here. A 50c3. I know a 501c3. Like, is that what you're talking about? A nonprofit? But I don't know a 503c3. I know a 501c3 is. But no donations to upcoming business. No, yeah, I mean, I think that we were talking about getting a jackhammer and digging holes out here for neighbors, and holes are really precious. And that would be helpful for me to dig a hole at my fucking house. Gotta go cook dinner, enjoy the weekend, everyone. Good to see you, Cricket. Go enjoy dinner. What are you guys making for dinner tonight? Smoking in a small town. What up? How small is your town? How small is your town? I don't know what I'll be having for dinner today, but I have like some pork chops and I have some steak, so maybe want something like that. Not putting anyone in the hole, are you? I mean, not yet. Not yet. I haven't met too many of the neighbors though, so I've met a couple of them, but you never know. Holes are always useful. I wouldn't do that on my land though. Like, I wouldn't shit where I eat. Like, if you're gonna have to bury a body, like, why would you do it at home? I would put a hole at someone's house that I don't like. Wait for them to leave. Man, probably soup again. I've been sick with strep for like 10 days. Dude, I had strep once. Like, I went to sleep feeling just fine, and I woke up just miserable. My throat hurt, and it ended up being strep throat. Like, that sucked. The town I grew up in, you could throw a rock from one side to the other, seriously. Like, that's almost about what it's like in this little town I'm at. Like, the town I come into to get signal, it's one flashing light in town. One flashing yellow light and the other two are red. And that's it. A little restaurant. And then a bunch of, like, there's an old grocery store across the street that's completely ran down, and it doesn't look like it's been alive for a very long time. And an old gas station that's also looks the same way. It's a neat little spot, like forgotten America. Kickstarter has some companies that will opt for pre-orders on their product to fund production. It's a great way to get deals, but can be risk if the small company ends up folding. Interesting. One stoplight, no big chain fast food, population around 20K. 20K is pretty big. I don't even know what the population of this little, like, it's not incorporated, this town. So is it even a town? I think I'm just out in the county somewhere, to be honest with you. Sell it, you can stay in similar places for free. .501c3. Yeah, 501c3. Yeah, I know what that is. You gotta be completely non-profit. The only taxes you pay are to employee or employer taxes if you have employees. I got scarlet fever. Jesus. Never heard, like, I know that scarlet fever can be really dangerous. From strep, though. Man, I had a mono one time and got hospitalized for it. I think cause is a 503. Yeah, I'm not sure what his is. Mushrooms and Swiss burgers, corn on the cob, and cheesy potatoes. That sounds good. I got some burger stuff that I can make. I got some pork chops. I guess I'm just starting to get hungry because I smoked that weed. I'm dyslexic. That's okay. We're all a little dyslexic sometimes. I get verbal aphasia. Like, I'll stumble with my words sometimes. Like, in the moment, I won't be able to get the word out. It'll just get stuck on the tip of my tongue. That's from fucking too many blows to the head. My face puffed up so bad, you can only see the end of my nose. Do you have any pictures? I'd love to see that. It's like that episode, or it's like that girl on the Charlie and Chocolate Factory, Willy Wonka, that she eats the grape thing and blows up into a big old fucking, rolled her out. What was that, a grape that she turned into? PTSD and dyslexia run hand in hand. Any suggestions to stop a big barker of a dog? He's driving me nuts. You know, could you maybe just give him a good beating every time he barks? No, I'm kidding. I don't know. I don't know what to do. You know what? Here's actually a suggestion that might help. If you were to I'm assuming you've taught your dog how to speak. Like you say speak and then you give him a treat. Speak and give him a treat. I'm also assuming that you've taught your dog what the word no means, right? So if you were to do this, like start training him to not bark the same way you would train him to sit. First, teach him how to bark, right? Speak or whatever it is. And instead of telling him not to, encourage it a little bit and start giving him treats for being loud. And then teach him not to do it and get a treat for not doing it. And then first he knows what you're trying to say. Speak. Oh yeah, I could do that. Bark, 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 bark. And they like doing that. And then you say no speak, and then train them not to speak. And then you have a command to tell them to stop that they understand. It doesn't stress you out and it doesn't stress them out. You've trained them to not do it. And some dogs that'll obviously be more difficult than other dogs, but that's a suggestion. There you go. I lied. I just looked it up. Only 5K population. If anyone wants to look up this little town I'm in that I drive into to steal internet, it's Tres Piedras. If you know how to speak Spanish, that means 3 stones. And the 3 stones are talking about it right over here, actually. Boom. 3 stones. And they don't look like much from here, but when you're driving in from the highway, you can see them for like 20 miles away, and they're really beautiful. Especially when the light's hitting them at the end of the day or in the morning. Motion sensor sprinkler. Bark. Psh, fuck. Oh, that's funny. Then one learns to bark because the collar is active, then set to low shock setting, centrifuge just to set one setting higher. Bye, Joyce. Deuces. Nina has learned to no bark. Cool. Bye, Jim. Take care, dude. That's not a bad idea. Probably is he's got 2 old Chihuahuas, companions, bad influences. Yep. Yeah, that my dog is Zag. She's super chill, right? Like she just lays around and wants to be in your lap or in your seat right after you get up. She's a little spot stealer. But when she's around her pack in slabs, when she's around her Chihuahuas, she becomes a little fucking barker. Like she's just that pack mentality. That's hard to train out of them. Some breeds just bark as their job before coming pets. Each dog is actually a breed for working reasons. Very true. Some dogs it's instinctual, right? Like if you have a herd dog, don't get mad at it for herding people if you're not going to give it something to herd. Like, don't give a duck dog. Like there's certain breeds have certain behaviors that we literally evolved them to have. So it's also hard to be mad at them for it. My town has a Spanish name too, Dos Palos. It means 2 sticks, because we have 2 huge palm trees in the middle of town. Like, look at the palm trees. Let's name this town after them palm trees right there, since that's the only fucking thing here, god damn it. Yeah, if we didn't name it 3 stones, we would have named it Sage. When our dog barks, we say thank you, we know. She feels she's done her job, she's good. His population 372 people. Like that's what's up. I would like to have a palm tree though. That'd be pretty cool. Yeah, my Wawa, she barks at fucking nothing though. Like, she'll bark at the wind straight up, and then now she's getting all the dogs barking. That's exactly what they do. You're absolutely right. Chihuahuas were also trained to hunt down these little fucking gophers. I don't think they were actually gophers, but some Mexican animal, and they would go down in the holes and fuck them up. So that's why they go in packs and shit. That's why they're great in packs. My boy is Australian cattle dog and Amstaff. He's Chihuahua herder. I bet he fucking is. I bet he stops him from playing. They start playing and he's like, no, fuck off. No. He's a fun police, isn't he? What's up, Robert? Welcome to the stream, bro. Gotta take a nap. See you around. Yeah, good night, Jack. Of course you've got a nap, you old bastard. Tell Nina hi for me. Never a dull moment in that house. Yeah, I bet that's a fun thing. You should put that on just TikTok. Your herd dog herding fucking chihuahuas. Just make that your entire TikTok. Yeah, if you've ever, like, Jack's been in a couple of my videos. Jack, by the way, is Thomas. He's been in a couple of my videos in Slabs. He's a slabber for sure. He's in Slabs right now. Maybe he'll tell you how hot it is if he didn't fall asleep already. And he's got this little dog named Nina. And Nina is this little chihuahua with, like, that type of hair that would turn into dreads if you didn't take care of it. And she was super skittish at first. She didn't let anyone near her except Jack. And now Nina and Zag are homies, and Nina is starting to, like, break out of her shell and start trusting people more. So that's really cool to see. Like, if you've ever seen that transformation of a rescue dog transforming into a dog that feels safe again, like, it's really, really cool to watch. Yeah, you're correct. Chihuahuas are used to hunt, same as wiener dogs. White long body for tunnels. The blue heeler German Shepherd will drive me nuts if I don't run her. She's exhausted once a day. She caught a rabbit yesterday. Dude, I straight up watched Zag kill a mouse once, and it was savage as fuck. Like, we were moving in some stuff into my friend's. He had this shed with no floor on it, so it was just a structure to keep the rain and snow off his shit. And we're moving some stuff into it, and Zag sees this fucking mouse, and she takes off after it and gets it and shakes her head. And as she's shaking her head, she lets this thing go, and this mouse just hits the wall and hits the ground dead. And Zag just struts off, like, fucking chest out, fucking all proud of herself. It was savage as fuck. I would have not wanted to be that mouse in that moment. But yeah, that's, like, in her, like, brain. She's chill as fuck. She's super chill. But she sees a mouse. There's a lot of rabbits out here, and they're like twice her fucking size. She wouldn't know what to do with it if she got it. She'd probably try to fucking play with it or just stop and stare at it. But she'll go chasing after him. She is very, very well trained. Zag is very well trained. I've worked with her a lot. But I lose complete voice control over her when she sees a mouse or rabbit. Just no voice control whatsoever. I can usually stop her from, like, freaking out on someone driving in. She'll be like, "Rawr, rawr," and let me know, and I'll tell her to hush and she'll stop. But not when it comes to mice, rabbits, dude. Zing, phew, she goes, man. That instinct kicks in. If I've learned anything, it's just because wealthy wacko can afford a military grade canine doesn't mean they should have one. You know, I actually struggle with what the military and law enforcement use animals for. Like, they're literally training these dogs to be, and it depends on what their use is, right? Like, the drug sniffing dogs, the bomb sniffing dogs, got very little problem with that, aside from the fact that they're usually wrong. You can look up the stats. They're not very accurate. They just know if they trigger however they trigger, they're going to get a treat. So, the problem I have with the police dogs and the military dogs that are used to attack people is that they're training dogs to be aggressive. And I know for a fact, and most people know this, you don't, you can look it up, but when they are retired, they're usually retired because they become too aggressive, right? Like, then they go fostered to somebody that wants to have cop dog, and they don't know how to handle it. It's aggressive as fuck. It's trained in some other language you don't know, and you're trying to learn it, but the dog has no fucking interest in you being its alpha when it knows it could bite the shit out of you. We're training dogs to be aggressive, and I don't think that's... Why would we do that? Don't we love dogs? Like, I do. If you ever get mice or rat, mix plaster of Paris with flour. Equal parts, no water, they eat it and die. Sad. Good. I hope they fucking die. Mice are like the bane of a nomad's existence. When you have like an RV or something and they move in, oh, you can hear them in the walls and shit. You'll find your stuff has been chewed on. Like, and there's a lot of mice out here in this desert. That's actually something I have fought with out here. So, yeah, I'm cool with them dying. I'm good with that. The only thing I'm worried about is it getting into like any of the other dogs, right? Like if a dog finds a dead mouse and eats it, and it's like got poison or something. Mice can give you the plague here. That would suck. I know that hantavirus is something you got to worry about in mice shit. So, um, I know like plague was spread by mice. I hope I don't get the fucking black plague. Although that'd be a pretty fucking savage way to die, right? Like you're fucking in hell or wherever you go after this. Like, like what are you in for, bro? Like, oh yeah, I electrocuted myself on accident while I was working on power lines. What about you, bro? Yeah, I got hit by a car as I was crossing the road. And what about you? Black plague. What? Yeah, the black plague, dude. Like, what year did you die? Like, 2022. The black plague. Don't come to the mesa. Why just do private sector? A lot of abuse in working dogs. Any asshole can make a dog bite. When, where, and how is a separation between clowns and professionals? Yeah, private sector, not to get too political, but the private sector does everything better. It does. It does it more efficiently, it does it faster, and it does it better, and it does it cheaper. So why everyone wants the government to be in charge of all their shit doesn't make any sense to me when the private sector just fucking does it more. Like the government has no incentive to be efficient. None. The private sector has a very big incentive to be efficient. It's called profit. But the government, if they're inefficient and it costs more money, they'll just take more from you and then pay for it. And they're paying government contractors that strictly work for them. That's their whole profit. Is taking on jobs because they can get paid more. That's the lowest bidder. Not to get too political, but yo, hello. Also, a lot of ground crawlers won't cross ashes. Put them around a place you don't want them. Sorry. Don't have too many ashes yet, but I will because I have a fire pit. But right now it's been so windy and dry that we haven't had any fires out here. It might actually be pretty similar out there in the northwest right now because it gets dry. Although I hear Central Oregon, where I'm from, has been getting quite a bit of rain lately, so just don't breathe mice poop dust. I think that's how the last case here was contracted. Someone was swinging up the mouse dust. Yeah, Brad, the hantavirus is also contracted the same way. I was in Idaho when I was in the Army doing some training out there in Gowan Field. That's the name of it. Gowan Field, Idaho, or Gowan Field outside of Boise, Idaho. And they would come into the barracks that are built out in the field, and they would, in like hazmat suits, and bleach them before they would like sweep anything, and they would do all this shit to make, because they had 2 cases of the hantavirus, and that's how it's contracted, is you're sweeping it up and it gets in the air and you kind of aerosolize it yourself and you inhale it, and there's no cure for the hantavirus. It just literally fucking kills you. Ants won't get in your trailer if you keep it spread under it. Spread under it. I'm assuming ashes. Same with bird poop. Never been sicker. Rooftop sweeping for having a big mouth. I don't know about you guys, but I've watched a lot of that show, like House. Have you ever watched House? Like with the doctor guy, that character was actually like modeled after Sherlock Holmes. They have like the same address, and they're both addicts to opiates. Anyways, um, he had an episode where someone got super sick from bird poop, and and one of them did die, and the other one didn't. But yeah, Vicodin, yay! And I used to get a lot of pain meds from the VA. That's like their thing, is to just give you bucketfuls of drugs. Which is why I haven't been back in a long time, but I've been lately thinking about signing up over here and being maybe a little bit better advocate for my mental health than I was before. Like don't trust the medications as much as they want to give. There's an old cabin by Mount Rainier. Says warning, don't enter hantavirus here. Yeah, that does not surprise me. If you just bleach it though, like if you just bleach it, it kills it. And that's how they have to do it in at that base that we had to go to. But they had the whole hazmat suit on. You probably want one of those too. I was on morphine from the VA. I'm off. That's good, man. Yeah, dude, the VA, like, when I was going there right after I got home, that's what they did. They just gave me a whole bunch of meds all the time. And eventually, like, I don't know, I thought it was helping for a long time, but quite honestly, the biggest help I've had has been cannabis, because I have night terrors sometimes, so what there's no drug that I ever took that got rid of my nightmares. There was only drugs I took that made them way more vivid. And I was like, that's not working. That's not working. But when I started smoking weed and I got my tolerance up, I don't remember my dreams anymore. I'm sure I'm still having them, but I don't remember them. I don't remember what they are. And that's useful because when I wake up, I'm not like consistently rerunning it in my head all day. So that's been the biggest help. But I have been thinking about signing up at the VA here in Taos. Like, I've kind of put that off because I haven't been to the VA in like a long time. So, but it's about time that if I start getting treated for a lot of my problems, then maybe I can get my disability raised and have a little more income coming in. So that's kind of the goal. The VA bucket needed for all the medications you will be on. Yeah, once the real doctor took off 9 of them, still coming out of my fog. Bro, like, yeah, I'm glad that I'm not the only one that's had that experience. I was on barbiturates, I was on Vicodin, some mood moderators. It was just a mess and a fog, and I thought it was helping, but I started nomading. Traveling and weed has helped me more than any medication that the doctors gave me. Not like I'm shaming pills though. Like don't take that the wrong way. Like I am not a pill shamer. If there is an appropriate time for medications. There really is. Let's be completely honest. But the VA just over medicates our veterans. It's just what they do. They're like, oh, I don't know what to do here because I'm a terrible doctor. That's why I work at the VA. It's not like good doctors are beating down the doors to work at the VA. So they just prescribe something to justify the visit and go see the 43rd patient of the day in the next, yeah, that's my experience there. PTSD dog will wake you up at least to remind you that you're in the present. Dude, my Zag is a PTSD service dog, and that's what she's trained to do, is to wake me up from nightmares. That's why I got her, and she was trained by this organization in Central Oregon called Battle Buddies, and more they trained me than her. That's why I was saying earlier that she's very, very well trained. That was because I worked with her a lot, and yeah, she was trained to wake me up from nightmares. That's her entire job. Although I haven't stayed up on her training because I've been smoking so much weed, I don't really need it as much, honestly. Like, cannabis is way more healthy, but I would do pain meds can help you survive if you don't increase doses. Yeah, now I use my pain meds as needed. Like, I've got back issues, I've got sciatica. I walked with a cane for 8 months when I got home, and I've sometimes still got a bit of a hobble. So Sometimes my back will fucking lock the fuck up though, and I'll be like laying on the couch just screwed for like 2-3 days before the spasm ends, and that's when the pain meds are helpful. Like it's kind of an as needed now. They don't care how long. Plus, meet someone and grow a group to support you. I love this group. I am growing a group. This is a great group. Get to my uh, ashwagandha. Ashwagandha? Great for mood stability. Ashwagandha. Now I'm Googling some shit after I get off this. Help a puppy get a bone. Hell yeah. I did get $10 from Kelly. And yeah, again, if anyone wants to donate 5, 10, 20 bucks, it'll go towards gasoline, the generator, it'll go towards propane, it'll go towards water, it'll go towards gas to get into town. Getting the dogs food, of course, they need to eat. It'll just go towards me surviving a little bit better than the little pittance that the VA gives me every month. They want people jacked up on medication, so even if you talk about stuff, one should not zero credibility and just crazy vet off their meds. Yeah, you know what? Like, it's vets are always kind of painted, like when a vet kind of loses their cool at the VA or whatever, they're always kind of painted as this big villain who's crazy and shit. And it's no, like, they're literally fed up with dealing with the VA. Like, they're literally fed up with it. First of all, we enlist. We volunteer to enlist. And we volunteer to go to combat and go to war. And then we straight up have to, like, re-enlist to get our health care. That's what it feels like to have to deal with the VA. It feels like you're re-enlisting into the military. You're dealing with all this red tape, all this bullshit, and nobody wants to do that. And they're fed up with trying to jump through all their fucking hoops and deal with all their bullshit, but at the same time not getting treated for what they're there for, and getting treated like they're crazy instead of being treated like a human being or a veteran or someone who, you know, is got issues because of what the fucking military did to them. But that's usually what, like that, and but then they get painted as like just crazy people who are off their meds, right? Because we're just sick of taking buckets full of meds. And don't get me wrong, there is an appropriate time to take chemical medications, but the VA doesn't do that shit right. Not in my experience. And it sounds like I'm not the only one. I would consider trying Ibogaine if I had PTSD or addiction. I wish people here could get that kind of treatment. There's a new treatment for PTSD. Well, new-ish. They're starting to experiment with shit, what's that stuff? Ketamine, sorry. And ketamine injections to basically reboot the sympathetic nervous system in your brain. And they're also experimenting with stellate ganglia blocks for PTSD, which they've been using stellate ganglia blocks for back pain for 40 years or something. And they're also realizing that it lowers your sympathetic nervous response, and that's your response for fight, flight, or freeze. And it kind of lowers it a little bit. Not to say it turns it off, but it just dulls it, because that's what most people with suffer from PTSD are dealing with, is their sympathetic nervous system making them feel like they're in danger again. And it's actually terrible for your heart and your cardiovascular system and your personal relationships. And that's exactly what I've dealt with. So it's an injection that they do into your neck like every 2 weeks or something like that, and it goes in, whatever it does. It's got really, like, if you look at the research and the studies, it's like a 70% success rate, which, compare that to any other mental health condition success rate for treatment, 70% is like enormous. It's a fucking enormous amount. So let's see. Start filing complaints about your treatment. They lose your paperwork or liable you non-complaint, and life gets real difficult when needing medical care. The biggest problem is that, like, you're complaining to the VA about the VA, and there's no civilian oversight. There isn't, like, there's definitely like patient advocates, and sometimes they can help, and it depends on your situation, and it depends on which human being that you're complaining to. But some of them, where's that complaint go? Sometimes nowhere. You also blow my mind. You can't sue the VA. You're not allowed to file a lawsuit. You're not allowed to sue for malpractice either. So these bad doctors that show up there are now all of a sudden protected from malpractice, and then after so many years, they could re-enter the private sector with, oh, they don't have any malpractice suits for the last 5-10 years. It's because they were at the VA. I lost vision in one eye from it. My oldest chihuahua was trained to help with depth perception loss, so I don't fall off curves. That's why I'm not traveling. I'll be damned. An IIH. Oh, a faux tumor cerebri. So what is that? Like an ocular tumor? Or is that one in your brain? Or like, oh, is it a benign tumor in your visual cortex in your brain, I'm assuming? I don't know. I'm not like quite an oncologist yet, but I'm working on it. Yeah, Chihuahuas are great dogs. He's been really busy trying to move. I got sent out of jail. Well, his lawyer did. Then I brought him home to help me pack. Well, I'm sorry, Deborah, but at least he's not in jail anymore. We've just been chatting about Nomad's Nest and the VA and shit. The trick is to understand, no matter if pain meds or THC, if one takes too much, one will not get much done in life. I don't know. I smoke copious amounts of cannabis and get quite a bit done. I think the idea that weed will just zonk you out onto the couch is a little misleading. I can always go get up and just start doing it, and it's not that bad. I prefer to work actually stoned, and I've been traveling 8 years and stoned the entire time, and managed to, I've had so many different great vehicles. I've got land. I get some shit done. Actually, I got my bachelor's degree like completely high, stoned out of my mind the whole time. See, I started getting stoned to clean house. That's what I do. I'm like, oh fuck, man, I gotta go out there and rip some sage out of the ground. Better smoke a joint first. I'd much rather rip sage out of the ground stoned. But if you gave the same amount to a newbie, they'd be out cold for 15 hours out of the day. Yeah, you're probably absolutely right about that. So don't smoke too much for your tolerance. That's fair, because you ain't gonna get shit done if you ain't got no fucking tolerance. And that was me when I first started smoking. Idiosyncratic intracranial hypertension, excess fluid and pressure in the brain. Had to have shunt put in my head and drains in my stomach. Weird going from Nomad to part robot. We can rebuild them. We have the technology. Increase intracranial pressure, right? So you have the blood-brain barrier, and it was too full of fluids, I'm assuming. Having to be here in Bun-fuck Egypt. Well, that was 7 days ago. I haven't seen my car or him since. Well, get out of town. Go get in your car and start traveling. Just go. When I started smoking, I just laughed all the time. Yeah. It would make you geek out. That's what we used to call it when you just couldn't stop laughing. I haven't felt that way since the first time I started smoking weed, honestly, or when I, didn't have a tolerance. Maybe I should take a tolerance break. So those motorcyclists that we were talking about just bounced. They were eating here at the restaurant for a hot minute. Their bikes all parked out there, and they just took pictures outside of the restaurant, and off they go. And on one side of us is still that wall of rain, and it might actually be raining at my house right now. And on the other side, I'm sitting in this beautiful sun right now. It's pretty great. But it's also windy outside. Well, there's that wall. And that might be my house out there. And then over here, blue skies. Just a couple of miles away, dude. That's crazy. Ah. Hang on. I'm screwing this. There we go. Marge, natural can flush out in 8 months, even the heavy duty smokers. Some lame Medicaid show up on bone tissue years later. I'm gonna go on Google Earth. I'm gonna find you. You probably, I mean, if it was live, you'd be able to see me sitting out here in the car. What's up, Bobo? Welcome to the live stream. Take a hit with me, dude. So yeah, you guys, the next video I'm gonna do is I want to do like keeping Nomad's nest afloat. Maybe that's what I'll call the video. But it takes quite a bit of work, right? To keep the dogs fed, to keep the water flowing, to do dishes and cook and clean, and to clear sage, to deal with fucking the dust that's blowing every day. But going into town is an hour drive away. I could show you guys the Earthships. They've got really cool architecture in Taos, right? Like it's a kind of a beautiful little spot. So yeah, that's the plan for the next video. So keep your eye out from that. If you guys want to throw me some donations, it'll help me get that video out a little sooner because then I can afford to go get propane and gasoline. I got a donation from Kelly, so that was fucking rad. Because she's an angel. And did you hear that? She got an original Peter Pastelacqua piece of art. Was it, what, Kelly, was it the Salvation Mountain replica? Because I've always kind of liked those things he did. When he first started doing them, the people at the mountain got all upset about it. About him doing those little structures. And there was a bunch of like online drama about it. And I feel like I was the only person that was like, who cares? Like, let him sell those little replicas because he had a good idea and he thought about it and he decided to capitalize on it. Good for fucking him. Like, and apparently it worked itself out, but those things were cool. No Starry Night yarn art. I think I saw a picture of his Starry Night thing. It looked like something out of yeah, like Van Gogh, or I was thinking the Nightmare Before Christmas, the Tim Burton. Like, it looked kind of cool. Well, Carissa, good luck on the driving lesson. Well, I hope he comes back, Deb. None of the movies to actually get live satellite stream. It's not easily done. Needs months in advance to get positioned correct as Earth is always moving. Nomadic definitely has zero hater ways. Can be happy for others. I'm so confused of what conversation we're having right now. No, not the movies. What are you talking about, Nomadic? Did I miss something? Did I miss something? I'm pretty stoned, so I might have. Yeah, I would love to see his yarn art, by the way, Kelly. That Peter's yarn art. You might, I think he posted though, if it's the one I'm thinking of. But I'm about to be taking off. You guys have had me for 2 hours. I expected we should be happy for everyone. Life would be good. No green to be seen. Woohoo. I'm going to take one last hit, and then I'm going to be taking off. Please look forward to my next video. I want to show you guys house. I want to show you guys some of the construction out here, some of the ways people live out here on the mesa versus how they live in town. You'll dig it. It'll be cool. I mean, you know it. I spend a lot of energy and love on my videos, so I'm glad you guys have enjoyed them. But on that note, I'm gonna go home, and hopefully it's not raining out there, because it'll become a muddy mess and it'll make it harder to get home. So wish me luck on getting home in the rain. Thanks for all chatting with me. I liked hanging out with y'all. I'll be back next Saturday, midday, give or take. So look forward to it, and I'll see y'all later. The Google Maps comment, the abilities to get lives. Oh, yeah. Okay, that's what you were talking about. I know it's not live. All those pictures are old and shit. It's not likely you're gonna get a live picture. But yeah, you're absolutely right. Movement is relative. The Earth is moving. The star that we're revolving around is moving, and we're just kind of chasing it in a spiral. Anyways, take care, guys. Thanks for being here. Bye.